Welcome to Positively Godfrey Daniels here on 4th Street. Live, friends. We're live for the first time in a long, long time from this legendary stage. And I'm so glad that you could be with us. We have a masked and socially distanced audience. And even though we told them to be quiet during the show, this is when you guys get to make some noise. Let me hear you. I can't tell you how happy that makes me. When I walked in here a little bit ago, it was nice to hear voices out the front counter for the first time in umpteen months. And we are very privileged to feature one of our very favorite performers who's been here umpteen times too. First time Roy appeared here was in June of 1976. That's last century, in case you're wondering. But we're going to do an hour show here, take a little break in between and have a little chat with Roy. But I can't tell you how happy I am to present to all of you here in this room and you folks out on the nets, Mr. Roy Bookbinder.
Thank you. Step right up, folks, you just got to see the magnificent, magical, mysterious Menagerie. It'll amaze, it'll arouse, it'll amuse and astound. No doubt the most bodacious show in this here town. Pack up your sorries, kiss away your cares. You won't have to worry no more. If you're tired and run down and life ain't worth living no more, you can't hardly drag yourself out of bed like before. You got no health, no vitality, no vigor, no zest. The chief's Indian remedy elixir's the best. Don't hesitate, you don't want to be late. Get there before it's all gone. Step right up, folks, you just got to see the magnificent, magical, mysterious Menagerie. That's right, it'll amuse, arouse, astound, and amaze. No doubt the most bodacious show in town. Pack up your sorrows, kiss away your cares. You won't have to worry no more. You gotta drink it neat, that's right, it ain't too sweet. Before long you'll be back one more. The chief will make you believe that Doc ain't there to deceive, and the story that he weaves will relieve you of some of your pain and all of your chains, but you'll be glad that you came to the show. got a peg-legged dancer and an Indian chief. Why, they got a blues-singing lady with a diamond in her teeth. You know, they got a two-headed turtle. Man, you gotta see it. And a chicken that can count to 10. That's right. Follow them down to the free show tonight. You don't want to miss it begin. Yeah, step right up, folks. You just got to see the magnificent, magical, mysterious menagerie. Thank you. Thank you very much. We call that song Step Right Up. There's a reference in there to the lady with the diamond in her teeth. That was Diamond Teeth Mary, a lady I met in Florida. She was, back in the 20s, a big star, Diamond Teeth Mary. She never recorded in the 20s, though. She didn't want to get ripped off, since she told Bessie and Ma Rainey that they're going to get ripped off, and they did. But of course, everybody remembers them for the records they made. But back in the fabulous 60s, when the rediscoveries started, a bunch of the classic blues singing ladies were found, and they all played Carnegie Hall together. Did you know that? They did. They had Alberta Hunter. They had Diamond Teeth Mary. They had Victoria Spivey. They had Sippy Wallace, who toured with Bonnie Raitt at some point. They had 5 of the classic old blues singers. Alberta Hunter was a nurse in Harlem for many years after she retired from music, and she had a regular gig at the Cookery right on the edge of Greenwich Village for about 10 years, and couldn't get in there. It was packed. That's the story of that. And the Peg-Legged Dancer, of course, I knew about 3 of them, you know. Peg-Leg Sam and Peg-Leg Bates. He was the most famous guy. He was on the Ed Sullivan Show 17 times. He was a heck of a dancer. It's on YouTube. You can see him. Anyway, I got time for another song. I'll give you another one. That's a song I made up. It's on my album, The Good Book. I'll do that song later on in the program. And now I'll play the first song I learned to play on the guitar. It's the Candyman Blues. Heard Dave Van Ronk do it. Changed my life. Didn't start playing the guitar until I was in the United States Navy in 1962 to 65. Spent the war terrorizing Italian villages. It's a great time. Had 3 friends on that aircraft carrier. I don't pal up easy. One was from Oklahoma, and he had a guitar, and he taught me some chords, and then I got a guitar at an Air Force base in Italy when we pulled in there. And my other friend was from Texas, and he had Lightnin' Hopkins records and Bobby Blue Bland records, and I listened to that a lot. And the third guy was Joe. Joe was from Brooklyn, and he was getting out of the Navy 7 months after I got in the Navy, and he was practicing getting ready to conquer the world, and he was reading all these weird books by Jack Kerouac and Lawrence Ferlinghetti and stuff like that. He was going to grow a beard and be a beatnik. When I got out of the Navy, he gave me all his books. I had all them books to read for 2.5 more years, and I had a guitar and listened to Lightnin' Hopkins and stuff, and figured I might be able to put this together and make a life out of it. And here I am, 55 years later. I think it's actually 60 years ago I joined the Navy. Hard to believe. But I'd do anything in this God Almighty world to keep the Candyman home. Ended up in Greenwich Village in the 60s when I got out of the Navy after going to Rhode Island Junior College in Providence, Rhode Island. Learned how to finger pick up there. Got to New York, I was playing the Hootenannies. Dave Van Ronk was I like the way he played the guitar better than anybody. I like Jack Elliott too. Matter of fact, I talked to Jack Elliott a couple of weeks ago. He's gonna be 90. I called him up out in California. We had a nice chat. I told him, I said, you know, a lot of my fans asked me who was a bigger influence on my career, Pink Anderson or Reverend Gary Davis. He said, Jack said, that's a good question. I said, well, I'll give you the honest answer. The 2 biggest influences in my career was Rambo Jack Elliott and Dave Van Ronk. He liked that. I'd do anything in this God Almighty world to keep the Candyman home. Little red light, little green light, little red light, little green light, little red light, little green light. Well, you know, stop stop on red, you go on the green, you don't mess with this in between. Big leg Ida, big leg Ida, big leg Ida, big leg Ida. Well, I sure do love that big leg gal. I said, God knows I do. Candyman, salty dog. Candyman, salty dog. Candyman, salty dog. Well, if you won't be my Candyman, I won't be a salty dog.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'll play you the St. Pete Blues. That's where I live now with my new wife. Been married for 23 years. I told her she's always going to be the new wife. And this is the first year I spent at home and didn't go out on the road, and we really got to know each other finally. Still like each other. It's nice. It worked out pretty good. My new wife is she's back home, and she's going to meet me up in Rhode Island in a couple of weeks. We're going to end up in Maine and eat lobsters till it hurts. I'm going to play the St. Pete Blues. Get your ups and you get your downs, that's right. That's what it takes to make a fool go around. I said, hey, hey, baby, mama, you ain't so such much, you know. You know I'm going back down south, leave all this rain, sleet, cold, and snow. Don't look back, mama, you might not like what you see. Oh, you're scheming and you're dreaming, never set your poor heart free. Hey, hey, mama, I'm going back down south like I said. I'm going to leave all of this rain, sleet, cold, and snow. Papa told Mama how it's gonna be. Mama said, Papa, Daddy, you just wait and see. I said, hey, hey, baby, you ain't so such much, you know. I'm going back down south, that's right. Gonna leave all of this rain, sleet, cold, and snow. Get your ups and you get your downs. That's what it takes to make a fool go around. I said, hey, hey, you ain't so such much, you know. Ooh, I'm going back down south to St. Pete, Florida. Leave all of this rain, sleet, cold, and snow. That's the short version of the St. Pete Blues. I don't remember all the verses yet. You know, back home you play guitar every day, but you're not singing it and doing a show. So it's been interesting comeback here. I had 3 spring training gigs in Florida in April. That went pretty good. First one I was a little bit nervous about, but came right to life. It was amazing. Did a lot of work around the yard. I never knew I could do that. I never wanted to do that. And I didn't. It occupied the time. I got my mind off it. I was wishing I would be more creative during that year, but I got some nice guitar licks, but I didn't really write any songs or do much creative except fix up the yard and built the pandemic bamboo fence in front of the house, and I built the pandemic patio out the kitchen door. Broken fingernails, scratches, and cuts on my hands. Terrible. It was such a great relief to be back on the road. I got a nice fall book. The spring's been a little bit, had a couple of cancellations down in Virginia, which was rough, but it's just nice to be out on the road again. Got the old tour bus tuned up and ready to go. I was in Fort Worth, Texas. That was nice. And I had a little guitar workshop in Hot Springs, Arkansas. That was nice. It's all nice. Sleeping at my favorite truck stops across America. Well, you can't do that no more. You can't do that no more. No, you can't do that no more. Things ain't like they was before, you know you can't do that no more. Don't be smoking cigarettes, sure don't do dope. God knows where you're gonna turn when you just can't cope. Because things ain't like they was before, you can't do that no more, that's right. Where you walk your dog and where you hide the bone. Why women still be the death of you unless it's on a doggone telephone. Things ain't like they was before, you can't do that no more. You know they say the barbecue could kill you. Fried chicken might do the same. Country ham and red-eye gravy, don't even call their name. 'Cause things ain't like they was before, you can't do that no more. No, you can't do that no more. You can't do that no more. Because things ain't like they was before, you can't do that no more. Can't do that no more. Thank you very much. That's a tune I wrote a while back for one of my albums. RoyBookbinder.com. You can get my albums direct. I get the message in my out in the bus there on my phone now. It's a miracle. And then I get the product and put it in a bag and pack it up, and I personally go to the post office with it. Works out pretty good. You know, back in the 60s, I had a dream when I started in this life, and the dream, the new wife, she asked me back when, she said, what was that dream you had? I said, I dreamt of making $100 a week. She said, well, you've done it. Bless her heart. I couldn't have dreamt that I'd play this music all around the world. I like to say I've been to hell and back, you know. Well, 10 years ago, I was in Hell, Norway, at the Hell Blues Festival. And it was up by the Arctic Circle somewhere, I don't remember where. And I got a Facebook message from the guy, and he said, it's been 10 years. He said, maybe you'll come back to hell. I said, well, we know what I am, let's discuss price. So I'm probably going to go in 2022 back to Hell, Norway. Norway's a heck of a great country. We had a lot of fun up there. We got a lot of friends up there. My late brother-in-law, Rock Bottom, not his real name, he was very popular up there. They call him the godfather of the Norwegian blues scene. And they organized up there. They got like 10 blues societies. They're like the Indian tribe in New York, the Iroquois. They had all those different tribes. and they had like a democracy or something. And the Blues Society of Norway, they bring over some act and they play all 10 blues societies. But they like to drink a lot up there in Norway, and it's not great for an acoustic guy. But I know one Norwegian joke I learned when I was over there. You want to hear it?
Yeah, hit me.
A Norwegian walked by a bar. I love them people, though. Okay, we'll do another song here. This is a song I got from my old friend Pink Anderson, who never knew that Pink Floyd got their name from Pink Anderson and Floyd Council. Two old blues guys, they had those albums laying around. I read that when I was in Borders Books, reading the magazines, you know. This is one that Pink used to do. That's a good intro for guitar players in the key of C. I'll do it again. I had an old friend named Campbell. Wait. I had an old friend named Campbell. Campbell used to steal and gamble. Made his living cheating all the while. He had a little game and he called it euchre. Sometimes he called it blackjack or poker. He thought he was the smartest dude in town. But I found out last Monday, you know they locked up Campbell on Sunday. They got him in that jailhouse way downtown. I'm doing a different song here, and I'll get all them songs mixed up. I guess it's a medley now. He's in the jailhouse now. In the jailhouse now. I told Campbell once or twice to stop that playing cards and shooting dice. He's up on a rock pile. Now I'll go into this one. I went down to a big crap game and it certainly was against my will. I lost every gosh darn nickel I had but one greenback dollar bill. My $40 bet was laying on the floor, Dave, and my buddy's point was 9. When the police come, you know, they grabbed all of us. Shoot, I got mine, that's right, yeah, I got mine. What was it? I got mine. You know, I grabbed that money on the back door, and out the back door I went flying. I tried to make it to a hiding place. I could not get there in time. Another rascal grabbed me by my collar, and I got mine. I went to a turkey feed. The dinner was certainly fine. 15 minutes before the table got set, you know, the jolly bugs fell in line. When they brought those gobblers out, ooh, the rascals I did shine. Talk about a rascal, Dave, I grabbed in. I got mine, yeah, I got mine. Ooh, I got mine. I got it all in good sport. Like I said, I've been shooting dice all the time. Ever since the big craft game, I've been living off of chicken and wine. And I'm a leader of the knockdown society, folks, since I got mine. That was kind of a combination of all the songs I do in C. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll now do one that I'm going to dedicate to my first wife. May she rest in peace in Biloxi, Mississippi with her new husband. This is a New Age Woman Blues. She don't drink and she don't smoke. I don't believe a little girl ever fool with dope, but watch out. She got the New Age ways. You know, if her tarot cards didn't tell her everything, she'd throw her coins and ask I Ching. No need to talk with me. She had him. She knows I didn't have no maps and stars and moons or a Chinese guru up in my room. Didn't have tea leaves in my cup to go my way. You know, she had a rabbit's foot and a mojo too. And God only knows which tells her what to do when I fly the coop. She knows just where I flew. Yeah. Rabbit's foot and a mojo too. God only knows which tells her what to do when I fly the coop. She knows just where I flew. Yeah, I guess I better let that little girl go. She got way too many friends and I don't know. I wish I knew back then what I now know. But I still ain't got no maps or stars and moons or a Chinese guru up in my room. Tea leaves in my cup to guide my way. That's That's right, she don't drink and she don't smoke. I don't believe the girl ever fool with dope. She got new age ways. Yeah, she.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I got another guitar. I play one on that one there.
Yeah. Why don't you do one, then we'll take a little break.
All right, that sounds good. This here guitar was made 95 years ago in 1927. It's been restored, and that's an old Gibson shape. That's a Nick Lucas special, deep body guitar. This is a Roy Bookbinder model. This is a Roy Bookbinder special, which is a knockoff of the Nick Lucas special. This is made by New Era Guitars up in Indiana. All right, we'll do this one here. This is one Reverend Davis. The first time I sang this was at a little church in Harlem. Ooh, it was a little scary for me, but I drove Reverend and Mrs. Davis up there, and they went in there, and after all the carrying on in that little church, there was a few more people than this, not many. And then Mother Davis, as we called her in the church. Originally we called her Sister Davis, but then she got promoted, I guess. I tried to stay out of the politics there. I was just the driver, you know. And Mother Davis got up there and said, "Our good friend Roy Bookbinder is with us. What would you like to do for us today?" I was freaking out. I said, "I drove you here." I got a big hand of applause, a couple of amens. And I hit into this song that Gary Davis showed me. Because I don't play it like Gary Davis. He was really a genius of a guitar player, and I'm doing the best I can here. I know something that is mighty swell, a sweet little story that I love to tell. Jesus saved my soul from hell. Glory, hallelujah. Oh, glory, how happy I am. Oh, glory, how happy I am. My soul been washed in the blood of the Lamb. Glory, hallelujah. Fire baptized and I'm Holy Ghost filled. Out here to do my master's will. I got to keep moving, I can't be still. Glory, hallelujah. Oh, glory, how happy I am. Oh, glory, how happy I am. My soul been washed in the blood of the Lamb. Glory, hallelujah. Fire baptized and I'm Holy Ghost filled. I'm out here to do my master's will. I got to keep moving, I can't be still. Glory, hallelujah. Washed in the blood of the Lamb. I said, glory, hallelujah. When I was blind and I could not see, Jesus come and he rescued me, he saved my soul from misery. Glory, hallelujah. Yeah, fire baptized and Holy Ghost filled. I'm out here to do my master's will. I got to keep moving, I can't be still. I said, glory, hallelujah. All right, nice to be
Let's
back.
have another hand for Roy Bookbinder. Okay.
Yeah, you guys gonna talk.
All right.
Oh, we're gonna talk now. All right.
All right.
Thought we were gonna do our commercials here.
That's next.
Oh, that's next. Yes, you see, Ramona's still in charge here, friends.
All right. Somebody's got to be.
That's right. But Roy and I go back before Godfrey's.
Before Godfrey's, pre-Godfrey's.
Pre-Godfrey's. Roy played up at Lehigh while I was, I'm not sure if I had graduated yet, but we played in the elegant Packard Auditorium. God, what a pit. You could probably hear the computer buzzing in the background.
Did they have computers back then?
Yeah, there were cards.
Right.
You know, card-fed things. Fortran. Oh, this goes. Oh, I'm flashbacks now. All right. But you played there with a guy by the name of Fats Kaplan.
Yeah.
And it was a great duo. Fats played fiddle, And then the band I was in at the time, the Shimersville Sheiks, got to open for Roy. And then after the gig, we retired somewhere here on the south side, and we talked about, I said, I'm thinking of opening up a coffee house. You want to play there?
I said, you bet.
So that's kind of how we met way back when. It's great.
That was great.
But you're making your living just driving around in that wonderful. What photos do you have in your
Hanging on.
art collection there?
Oh, not in the bus?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have too many. I got a picture of me and Reverend Davis, a small picture. I got a picture of me and the new wife down in the island somewhere when we got married. A picture of me and Roy Orbison. I opened up some shows for Roy Orbison. That was pretty cool. Long story. I'll tell you next time I'm here. And who else was in that picture? Oh, Dusty Hill from ZZ Top. I didn't know who he was, you know. But that's a long story. It was pretty funny.
But you hung out with Roy, and you were like a guitar boy for him, right?
Reverend Davis.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yes.
Yeah, I carried
Reverend
the
Davis.
guitar and counted the money. And I'd say, Reverend Davis, he's supposed to wear the brown suit today. It's Tuesday. Mother Davis said, he said, where's Mother Davis? I said, she's back in New York. Where are we? He said, we're in Chicago. He said, I'm wearing a blue suit. I said, yes, sir, Reverend Davis. It was a lot like driving Miss Daisy, you know? It was pretty strange. It was pretty strange. Reverend Davis would say to me, is there a store nearby? I said, yeah, there is down on the corner. You understand, he was blind. He says, well, go get me some of them cigars that have a tampers I like the wooden tip ones, you know? And he opened up his little purse. He had a little man purse. And he pulled out a bill. He said, here's a $50 bill. Bring me the change. I said, Reverend Davis, that's a $5. He said, don't tell me. But he was teasing me. He was a good teaser. So he said, do you need cigarettes? I said, yeah, I do. He said, well, here's a quarter. I said, the cigarettes are 35 cents now. He said, well, you got to come up with a dime. It was kind of fun. It wasn't easy. It's like touring with an old grandpa. Yeah, he wasn't that, I mean, he died at 76 years old, I think. It wasn't that old. That's what I'm thinking now.
Right.
I mean, I was 76 a couple of years ago. But, I mean, it gave me a life. Reverend Davis and Pink Anderson and Jack and Dave and all those guys. Jack and Dave, the best thing about them was they weren't imitators. They played other people's songs, but they were themselves. And boy, I respected that. And I guess I'm myself. And it's great to be here. I've been playing here for 45 years or something. It's ridiculous.
And I counted up at least 35 shows before we stopped counting them, the number of times you've been here. And actually, you were here for a whole weekend, June 11th and 12th for our first year. So we were only open for several months.
Wow. Yeah. And I played Lehigh before that.
Yeah, that was
the big time. I'm not sure if this was a step up or not.
Well, the college circuit was something, you know, and
was.
it was part of the whole revival
It was.
of the folk scene.
Well, that's when the colleges spent money instead of paying the football coach all the money and hiring Chris Rock and putting the local promoters out of business and spending the entire student activity fund in one shot. Every coffee house in Pennsylvania universities, New York universities, you could go out on the road and do 20 college gigs in 2 months. It wasn't so bad. But I got no complaints. People say, if you did this, you could have been, you could have been. I said, I don't think I could have handled any more than I got. I think I'm fine the way it is. Been a great life.
Great. Well, tell you what, let's do our little commercial here.
All right.
And I want to thank Jason Reed, who's doing this from a remote. Give a hand to our friend Jason. out there. And I also want to thank our membership who have been keeping us afloat for the last 14 months or so, and people who have been giving donations as well. And we couldn't have done it without all the folks who have pitched in to keep this place open. So we're on the way back, and that's great. But there were a lot of people who have chipped in along the way, and that's wonderful.
And this is the first live gig?
Yeah, this is the first one.
Wow.
Wow, that's right. Cool. We'll get back to Roy in just a second. First, a reminder that Godfrey Daniels Media partner is the Lehigh Valley's NPR radio station, WDIY, 88.1 FM. And in addition to news and public affairs, WDIY is the home to an eclectic mix of music programs, including classical, folk, jazz, blues, indie rock, world music, and more. And nearly 100 volunteer programmers bring you the news and music every day. So do consider to become a member of WDIY and help them keep it all coming to us over the airways and the internet. And be sure to tune in to WDIY each Tuesday evening for a wonderful show called Live from Godfrey Daniels, with select radio cuts from live concerts performed on Godfrey's stage for over the last 45 years. And from actually going back to 1976 to the early 2020s. And I've been doing a lot of work with that show since I am the host with my friend Norm Williams, who now is on board. And actually this Tuesday I worked up some new archives from Tom Rush from 2003 and 1978 with Garnet and Stan Rogers. That's going to be on for the first time since that show. It's going to be on Godfrey's, Live from Godfrey's on Tuesday. So do tune in and support WDIY as well. I want to give a big thank you to Ramona Labar right now. Please put your hands together. She's been doing a yeoman's job, and I don't even know what a yeoman does. But it's yo, man, you know? And she's putting in a lot of work, continuing to put on work in running the place and finding grants and keeping us afloat. And we couldn't do it without her. I'm going to turn it back over to my friend, Roy Bookbinder. What do you got, Roy?
Well, I never planned a show. I got to think of one to do here. I'll do this one here. This is one I wrote for Reverend Gary Davison. I call it The Preacher Picked the Guitar. I don't think I've sung this song in about a year. Hope I remember it. The song was recorded by quite a few people, including Yor McKelkin. I'm going to tell you a story about a man I once knew. He was a blind street singing preacher that played some blues. You know that his fingers picked the guitar, danced up and down the board. Past his days he was just singing and waiting on the Lord. People heard his message and they came from miles around. You know, his pulpit was on the streets up in Harlem, and sometimes way downtown. And his fingers picked the guitar, his hands made those magic chords. Past his days he was just singing and waiting on the Lord. One day the angels heard him sing and thought he should be heard. You know, they opened the ears around the world so he could spread the word. The preacher picked the guitar, his hands made those magic chords. Yeah, he passed his days just singing and waiting on the Lord. Sailed across the ocean to London and to France, thanking Jesus every day for giving him that chance. That's right, the preacher picked the guitar. His hands made those magic chords. He passed his days, he was just singing and waiting on the Lord. Reverend Davis, though, was from the Carolinas. He was singing on the streets of New York when a big folk music scare happened. And a lot of people, I know Happy Tramp saw him singing on the street, and Peter Yarrow and Dave Van Ronk and probably Jack Elliott. And Peter, Paul, and Mary, when they made the first album, they did a song they heard him sing on the street about Samson and Delilah. And they insisted he get something for it. And they called him down to the lawyer's office to sign the papers. And the rest is history. They asked him if he wrote the song, and he said he didn't write any songs, but he looked up towards the heavens and said that song was revealed to me in the spring of '28. And Peter, Paul, and Mary insisted. His name went on the contract, and who could have dreamt the folk music record would go gold? Reverend Davis's first check was 5 figures. Never sang on the streets again. Bought a house in Long Island we always lovingly referred to as the house that Peter, Paul, and Mary built. And they hooked him up with Manny Greenhill, a great folk music agency and manager in Boston. He managed at the time Dave Van Ronk and Joan Baez, and a lot of groups. And they made sure every song Reverend Davis knew got copyrighted and published. And he passed away May 5th, 1972, seems like yesterday. But his mother Davis lived on an extra 18 or 19 years off the royalties of Grateful Dead and Hot Tuna and Taj Mahal and Dave Van Ronk. And probably got a few nickels for me, but not much. But I visited Mother Davis every time I go up north to see my own family, I go visit Mother Annie Davis. She was a great lady. First trip I went on with them, I drove them to the Cafe Lena. I remember sitting at Cafe Lena, the oldest coffee house in America, thinking like, oh my God, I hope I can play here sometime. And I'm playing there sometime coming up in the next month or so. I think it's my 59th appearance there. Just be careful what you wish for. Anyway, let's see another song here. Here's a song I heard when I was during my country western period. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. The act didn't change much. I wore baggy pants and a derby hat sometimes. I was in Nashville on the Ralph Emery show many times. It's a long story, but there I was. And they had John Anderson on there one night, and he sang this song that really caught my attention. I said, God, I wish they could do a song like that. How could you do a song like that? And then one day, I started to think about my heroes, and if they wanted to do a song, they made it fit, you know? You don't have to pigeonhole yourself into one genre of music. So I figured out how to play this song. It was originally written by a great songwriter named Billy Joe Shaver, and John Anderson had the big hit. But it's a beautiful song. I play it like it was written in 1930. tricks in there. Well, I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm gonna grow and glow till I'm so blue, pure, perfect. I'm gonna put a smile on everybody's face. Know that I'm gonna kneel and pray every day, lest I should become vain along my lonesome way. I'm gonna polish up my old rough-edged self till I get rid of every single flaw. Find a new way to walk. I'm gonna search until I find me a better way to talk. I'm gonna be the cotton picking rage of the age. You know that I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm just an old chunk of coal. I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm gonna polish up my old rough-edged self till I get rid of every single flaw. 'Cause I'm just an old chunk of coal. Just an old chunk of coal. All right, here's one. There's another one of my big hits. This one's called "A Full Go Round." Tune that one down to D. We used to say close enough for folk music, right? John Jackson never play here?
No.
What a
But,
tragedy.
he played up at Lehigh
Yeah, great.
when I was there.
John Jackson was an old blues singer. He wasn't as old as some of them. He passed away younger than I am now, which is kind of frightening. But he comes from Rappahannock County in Virginia, which is out on the coast. And they had an incredible accent. His story is a long story. It's just a miracle story. He toured for the State Department or what have you. And he was a grave digger in Fairfax, Virginia. But he toured the world playing this kind of music. And we were at somebody's funeral. I forget whose it was. And he said something that I couldn't understand it. I asked him 3 times. I said, "What'd you say, John?" What he said was that so-and-so, whoever passed away, had done a full go round. And I had just stuck in my head, that's such a great line, a description of a life. And this song, "Full Go Round," is another one that Yorma records and plays quite often. I hear from his fans. You can put him in the ground 6 feet down till you hear that coughing sound. You can weep and you can moan, but that old boy ain't never coming home. Another man done that's right, another man done a full go round. Yes, we can tell our tales and laugh and joke, or we can ponder all day about the words he spoke. You can't run, you can't hide, death come creeping up by his side. Another man done a full go round, that's right. fussing about this or worrying about that. Taking out the dog or letting in the cat. Eat your biscuits and gravy, smoke and drink, 'cause it ain't gonna matter what nobody thinks. Yes, another man done a full go round. Put him in the ground, 6 feet down till you hear that. You can weep, you can moan. That old boy ain't coming home. Another man done a fool around. We can tell our tales, we can laugh and joke, and we can ponder all day about the words he spoke. You can learn, you can hide, death come creeping up by your side. Another man done a, ooh yeah, another man done a go round. Winter, summer, spring, or fall, you gotta go when the good Lord calls. It made us laugh until we cried. We wish that I took the time to say goodbye. Another man done a full go round.
He did a great version of Rattlesnake and Daddy. Rattlesnake and Daddy.
Yeah, that sounds like John. I was just doing a gig in I don't know, it's Gloucestershire or Gloucester, Virginia. It was right south of Rappahannock County. But they were pretty suburban there. I didn't hear anybody talking like John. He moved to Fairfax. You know, he grew up on a plantation, so to speak. His family worked for on this plantation, and the plantation got sold. The old guy died. They sold the property, but he set it up where John would work at some plantation up in Fairfax. He was a handy guy. He could do anything, and he did everything. And he ended up buying a little piece of property up there, and Fairfax is like. It was a way out. Then it became a suburb of Washington, D.C. When he died, his property, he told me one time, he said, man offered me $1 million for my property. I said, wow, that's a lot of money. I said, did you sell it to him? He said, what'd I do with $1 million? I like my property. Another time, I used to meet up with him in Europe sometime, him and his manager, Trish Barley, a great lady. And I said, you go to Europe this summer? He said, no. He said, I was going to, but Mrs. Jones down the road from me, she got this big property and she wants to plant roses all around her property. And she offered me that job. I like planting roses. It's good to be that way. Do what you like. All right. This is one of the pretty songs. You know, there's a website. It's kind of Killer Blues has got a website. They put up tombstones on unmarked blues singers' graves, and I post it on my website once in a while that people should donate to that. You'd be surprised. They know where these people are buried, but they never had stones. So that gets done. And they just made, this song is called Delia. And Delia, there's been a lot of songs written about Delia by the blues singers. And nobody's exactly sure the story, where it happened, but they just put a stone on Delia's grave. It said Blues Muse, Delia with her last name. And the song was, you know, Johnny Cash got a Grammy for that album. He did at the end where he played his guitar and sang as a version of Delia. And Bob Dylan recorded a version closer to the one that Gary Davis showed us. And about 5 people got Grammys for recording this song. I recorded it again on my last live album, but nothing.
You're not bitter, are you?
No. What did I do with a blankety-blank Grammy? I mean, life is good. I'd like to say I can stand it, but I can't hardly. It's so great. One of the greatest versions of this song was Gary Davis hardly remembered anything about it. And one of his early students, Stefan Grossman, a friend of mine, he kind of cleaned it up, and we ended up with something like this. It was on my first album back in '71. I recorded for Delphi Records, and now it's available on a CD and downloadable probably. CDs are going out of style. Delia was a gambler, gambled all around. That's right, Delia was a gambling girl, but she laid her money down. She's all I got, had gone. Delia's mama wept, Delia's daddy moaned. They wouldn't have had it quite so bad had Delia only died at home. She's all I got and gone. Delia, why didn't you run? When Cuddy come chasing after you with that flaming 44-6 gun. She's all I got and gone. A rubber-tired carriage in a double-seated hack carried Delia down to the graveyard, never carried poor Delia back. She's all I got in this world and gone. A gambling girl. Delia was a gambling girl, but she laid her money down. She's all I got in this world, gone. How could it be? You wanted all of those gambling men, but you never had no time for me. She's all I got and gone.
All right. Probably
Well, it's been a wonderful thing to see live people and be with them. And my old friend Dave, we go way back.
Come on, group hug, group hug.
Group hug. All right. Okay.
Remember hugs? That's right.
I'm going to finish up with this one here. This is also from my album, The Good Book. This song is The Good Book. This is a song that I wish Reverend Davis got to hear it, but he didn't listen to a whole lot of other people. But Andy Davis, Mother Davis would have liked this song. I know it. And this is a song, I don't know if you could really write songs. I can't sit down and plan I'm going to write a song this week or this month or this year. It doesn't happen very often. But like Reverend Davis told the lawyers, you know, it was revealed to him in '28. And this one was revealed to me about 10 years ago. And that's the way it happens. They just pop out when it's supposed to be. And this is, I kind of use Reverend Davis's chord structures here. I mean, he had some great chords. I mean, he was so much more than a blues guitar player, or a gospel guitar player. There's a great book by Ian Zach called Say No to the Devil. And on the cover, there's a quote from Dylan that said, Reverend Gary Davis was one of the wonders of American music genius or whatever. He said a nice thing. I never met the Bob. People ask me, you were in Greenwich Village back in the 60s. Did you meet the Bob? I said, no. And at this point, it's his move. Told me, my papa told me too, the good book's got the answers, it'll tell you what to do. The good book's got the answers, you just wait and see. The good book's got the answers there, just for you and me. Learn to sing and dance, you better work and play real hard. Watch you step along the way on your journey to the stars. Don't you be a cheater, don't be telling lies. The straight and narrow path you're on will lead you to the prize. Yes, my mama told me, my papa told me too. The good book's got the answers, it will tell you what to do. The good book's got the answers, you just wait and see. Be good to the children, the old and feeble too. Don't you be doing to others what you don't want done to you. Mind your own business, keep singing this happy song. A soldier in God's army always knows what's right from wrong. Don't be wanting what's not yours, give thanks, you got a lot. You ain't never gonna miss what you don't have or get from them that's got. Fussing and a fighting is not the righteous way. You just best be quiet if you got nothing good to say. Yes, my mama told me, my papa told me too. The good book's got the answers, it will tell you what to do. The good book's got the answers, you just wait and see. The good book's got the answers there just for you and me. Thank you very much.
All right, so great to have live music back in the club. All right, give yourself a hand, friends. That was so nice to have you here. Sounds good in here. Remind you folks that we're just starting to do some of these shows from here in the club. I think next week we have Bakithi Kumalo in, and check out some of the shows that are coming up here throughout the spring into the summer. Go to godfreydaniels.org where you got all the information there, and check out Live from Godfrey's every Tuesday here, and also on Thursday on Folk Music Notebook. I do an hour show of that too. Thank you so much. Let's have another hand for Roy. Thanks, Jason. Thanks to Ramona, and thanks to you all for tuning in. We'll see you again next time here at Godfrey Daniels. Yep.